Ready? All right, it's Matt with Chicago's MMA. We are with Comprido here at Flow MMA in Palatine. How's it going, my friend?
Everything's fine.
Good. Now, I'm disappointed that we haven't seen you too much yet on this season of Tough.
Yeah, I was traveling when they start shooting. I went to the Europeans, and then I get there on the third week. What was last episode, I just arrived on the day to the fight.
Okay, so we are going to see you, though, this season coming up.
I hope so.
I hope so, too. And how was that experience? I know, obviously, you can't reveal too many details about it, but did you enjoy it? Is that something you'd like to do again?
No, I enjoy it. It was a different kind of work with, working with different people who I never seen before, but I have to help on the development, and the schedule is fights and weigh-ins, and there's a lot of stuff going on same time, and you have to be ready, and you have to be helping. Once again, 7 guys, you have to give attention for everybody, and it is very, very interesting. I definitely will do again if I have the opportunity.
That's cool. We sat together probably, I don't know, sometime late last summer. We talked about your plans. One of them you said was going to the Europeans, which you did, and you did very well there, as I hear. That's right.
Yeah, I succeed.
You're so humble. The other thing you had mentioned is that at some point in 2011, you had hoped to actually compete in MMA fight, either locally or you said Chris Tusher had some events. What do you think about that? There's still plenty of time in 2011. You thinking of still competing, or
maybe on the end of the year? What's happened is I have few injuries what bother me a little bit, and even gonna be hard to fight the Worlds this year. I don't pull completely out the fight the Worlds yet, but it'll be really, really hard to do it, And
plus, the whole tough thing came out of nowhere, pretty much, right? I mean,
I was not planning that.
Right.
I already had the trip scheduled to Portugal and to Greece for competing.
We posted on our website about your BJJ camp. I want to give you the opportunity to tell everybody about that.
In September, going to be the first time in Greece. We have our BJJ camp. It is a mix between vacation and jiu-jitsu training. We focus a lot more on the technique than on the physical part of it. We have a beautiful location in 30 minutes away from Athens. Is a resort.
Yeah, there's pictures on the Facebook page if anybody wants to take a look at it.
You guys can check in compridobjj.com or brazilianblackbelt.com looking for the camp. It is something what we are very proud to do it. We've been doing this for the last 8 years in Brazil.
And that's you and Felipe Costa, right?
Yeah, me and Felipe Costa. We always have other friends with what we invited. We don't announce any names because we have to deal with fight schedule for people and number of students and time frames and all these things. But for sure it will be me and Felipe, but we always have guests.
Some big name guests coming out to help.
I hope. We are working something like that. I cannot
divulge who it is.
Throw any name because it's hard. Some people has contracts.
Sure. And I think you just mentioned how, it's based more on technical than the expertise. So maybe you never even put on a gi, or you're a white belt, you're a black belt. It's good for pretty much anyone who wants to come out, get a vacation, and just work technique with you guys, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you're a beginner or if you are in a higher level, because we have enough people to break the class apart and work a little bit more complex with the guys who have higher rankings, and if the guys are beginners, we have how to deal with that too. And the another nice thing is, like, if you have, like, a lot of guys say, oh, my wife will never let me go to Greece to having a BJJ camp, so bring her. We have a special price for spouse, and it is a resort, so it has all the normal things that you have to do in the resort.
Yeah.
And the time when you're going to be training, she can be hanging out. My wife will be there, and I know other wives who are going to come. Some training, some not. So he's great to make friends, and even for kids, you know, if you want to bring your kids, I think kids under 12 don't have to pay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I just got done talking to Damian Maia, who your childhood friend, is that right?
Yeah, he's a very, very close friend.
And so when he comes out here, is it to train with you, just to see you, help you teach class, or?
Damian training wrestling in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we have a Brazil school at overtime.
Mm-hmm.
One of our representatives, Damian students, Mark. So he came and go training. He has a fight May 12 or June 12,
Yeah.
same day than Brock's. So he goes there mainly for the wrestling, and he always comes to visit me for our friendship, and we always take the time to training a little bit. He helped me a little bit with my technique. I help him a little bit with his technique, and you know, because he's my friend, once he's here, he helps my students, who's also his team members, you know. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be lucky to have him teach at Flow today, and you know, share a little bit of his knowledge with my guys.
That's really exciting for them to have him out here training with them, and he does have a very big fight coming up against Mark Munoz, and so we'll see you in Brock's Corner on that night too.
Yes.
What you going to be back out there training with him in Minnesota,
Yeah,
or?
The training already is going on, and I'm very confident in Brock, and everybody know when that guy go inside the cage, you can expect the excitement.
Absolutely.
You know, so
He's been getting criticized a lot lately, especially after the Velasquez fight. I don't know how much you read or how much you look at on the internet, but a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Brock. He's kind of a lightning rod that way. People always got an opinion on him, whether they love him or they hate him. But do you think the guy was world champion. Do you think he's just criticized too much, or?
I guess, like, Brock is somebody who doesn't need nobody to defend him here.
Yeah.
But I don't really know what they criticize. The guy was a wrestler since 5 years old. He was two-time national champion as a wrestler. He merged for WWE, and he was on the show, and he being a huge star, and that's why everybody knows him. Then he went on UFC. He made one fight before UFC, and then he fought with the former champion Frank Mir. He lost. He come back.
Yeah, so
Beat Hearing.
beat Heath Herring, who at the time was still big name.
It was actually, as I know, he retired Hearing because since he break the
Orbital bone. Yeah.
and now I guess he cannot really fight.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I don't know.
Yeah.
I heard.
Yeah.
Then he fought Mir again, and
That was a whooping.
he hurt him, and he showed he learned with his mistakes. Get his title from nobody less than Randy Couture. Actually, Randy Couture was before Mir.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the Shane fight, people have said, with Kane that, he doesn't have a chin, this and that. I think against Carwin, he pretty much proved that he could take any kind of beating and come back from it.
I think people doesn't really sing fights, doesn't really know what happened. Nobody likes to be punched in the face. A wrestler mainly go grapple, go to the ground. He's not a kickboxer. He's not
Right.
Shogun, and even Shogun.
Yeah.
We're seeing, he's one of the best Muay Thai guys we ever seen on the MMA sport, and we see when the guy is hurt, he has to cover.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, Brock never been knocking out.
Yeah.
And they stopped the fight. They should have stopped the fight. Was a correct call with Velasquez. No complaints, no crying about. But he was there. He was not out. He was conscient.
So, and one of the criticisms I think people have of Brock is that they say, his heart's not really into it. If his heart's not really into it, he wouldn't be training and fighting Junior Dos Santos, who's a very dangerous opponent.
Brock is a well-known person. A lot of people like him. A lot of people hate him, and they come with all these crazy theories. Brock doesn't need money. We all know that.
Yeah.
Brock doesn't need to prove nothing to nobody. He's already he had the belt. He is taking the toughest guy on the division to fight. He could take a easier opponent. Of course he could. I will do that. If I get beat, I will slow down and stop to take the top guys, and I will looking for something on the lower level, make a easy fight, beat the guy up, and be comfortable.
So that's all that to say, he's into it, right? This is what he wants to do.
Yeah. Look at his actions. Don't try imagining what he's thinking.
Right.
You know, look what he's doing. He went on Las Vegas for 6 weeks teaching those kids. You guys thinking he need to go on the TV? You guys even thinking he likes to be on TV?
Probably not. He said he wants to be a farmer.
And that's the truth. Brock is somebody very honest, you know. Listen what the guy has to say and seeing his attitudes. Don't speculate, you know, because this is foolish. Doesn't work with Brock. He's gonna tell in your face you're chicken shit or you're a chicken salad. You know, he doesn't measure words. He doesn't hide.
Well, and I agree.
He hides on the way what he doesn't like to be in front of the cameras all the time. You know.
And I agree with you, and not just because I know you a little bit, and I've been around here a little bit at Flow, but I do base what I see on the accomplishments the guy had. Now I think if he was Brock Lesnar, just Division I wrestler, and never had the WWE part, I think a lot of people's minds would be different. I think that's kind of a shame, really, because
a lot of people's minds will be different, and the number of people watching his fights will be different too.
Yeah.
You know, if these guys not WWE, and we have to sing for this side. This guy is drawing a lot of attention for those guys who are WWE fans for MMA.
Yep.
And this is good for our sport. If you like MMA, you want more people watching because this means more money on the sport. This means better fighters, more fights. So that's what everybody wants. We want more money on the sport, and then we're gonna see more guys fighting, better level, a lot of challenges. You know, so I think it's foolish criticizing him.
Yeah. All right, well, I know you got to get out there with Damien and teach your class, as you do here all the time at Flow MMA in Palatine. If you guys want to come out and train with Comprido, that's just visit flowmma.com. Check out the camp at the CompridoBJJ.com. When is that, by the way, in Greece?
September 10th.
September 10th.
To September 20th.
Just when the weather starts getting kind of cruddy here in Chicago, so that's a good time to get away.
We pick this date because we don't want to be there on the season time, where
all the tourists.
Athens is super crowded.
Yeah.
So it's still warm. We're gonna be able to go to the beach. The hotel is at the beach.
Oh, nice.
You know, so we're still having all this nice stuff, but less people around, and you know, we're gonna be doing things a lot of
cool.
I do want to point one more thing. So recently, a few of my friends start a movement to claim for a regulation from the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation on the use of steroids in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes, you know, we did see your article came out, and Ingo from MMAnuts.com, he also passed that around, put it on his website, and it definitely got a lot of talking about in the MMA community.
I really joined the cause. The idea is not point fingers to nobody. We know a lot of people use steroids in all professional sports, but this doesn't mean because some people be able to be successful with that, we don't have to have a regulation. We have to regulate, and we have to give the example for our kids. You know, as I said in my letter, I seen a guy dying by overdose of steroids. Wow. Some funny guy said that's not such a thing as overdose of steroids. If he let me put a bunch of stuff on his arm, he will see. You know? Overdose is when you take so much one thing, this thing attack your body. If you take so much water, you can collapse. If you eat so much salt, you know, take a pound of salt and eat, please, and let me know if you survive after that. You know, so, but back to the point. We don't want to point any fingers. We just want a more regulation. We want our sport to grow, and regulation is part of this. You know, I really wish more fighters coming out and talk about this subject. You know, it's something important. It is. I am a father. I am a teacher. I am a fighter. I I really think that's an important issue. We have other things that we have to fix on the jiu-jitsu, but because we have other problems, we cannot forget about these. And I seen a lot of crazy explanation, crazy excuses, but bottom line is like that. Steroids are not allowed here, and steroids are not allowed in Brazil. I want to make this clear. That's not allowed in Brazil neither. Has Brazilian people who use steroids? Yes, a lot. Has American people who use steroids? Yes, a lot. But
what you're saying is, like
point.
any major sport, regulation is a part of it.
Yeah.
In order for the sport to grow and remain respected and things of that nature, and like you said, for the example for the kids, regulation is just a common part of every sport at this point.
And because it was not on the law doesn't mean it's okay to do it.
Right.
It's not on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's not allowed biting, but we know we should not bite nobody. So people who are using steroids for competing, whatever competition, running, swimming, whatever is the case, are cheating. They don't have any glory on the conquers. That's cheating. And I don't think if the guy win with steroids, he can do without. So please, guys, let's play clean.
All right, Comprido, thanks again so much for your time. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
Okay.